3 desired outcomes for our students, and that's what we're going to be looking to prepare them for from day 1. Maryvale Prep prepares its students for college, virtuous life, and leadership within their community. College, virtuous life, and leadership. That's what our desired outcomes are, and that's what really guides all of our decision making. The people we hire, right? The curriculum that we purchase and we implement, the books that we select to put in front of our children, all about this. All of our focus is there. And so that really guides, even from this point on, where the school hasn't even started, what we need to do. So let's talk a little bit about that. But first I want to ask a question. Anybody have a guess, an idea of what do you think will take place in the year 2025? A bit farther off. 2025. Any random guesses? Okay, we got something out there. 2025 is a year I actually think a lot about. That's going to be the year that the kindergartners, starting this August, our kindergartners, that I shake their hand as they graduate high school and head on into college. 2025. That's an important year that we have to have out in front of us right now. So let's talk about that. What does it mean to prepare students for college? What does that look like? Well, here's just a few items. And again, if you have more questions, please ask, call us. We'll get into this more. But first thing we have to know that just drives all of what we're doing is we have high expectations for all students. Okay? We don't believe that some students should be on this fast, advanced track and go out to college, and others just, they can't make it. No, that's absolutely wrong. We think all students should be on a college track and can have that potential. And we need to have that belief from the very start of schooling. So that as we carry through, we're constantly pushing them forward. And not just us, you as well. And we'll talk about our partnership in that. But that's got to be critical. There's no excuses. That's where we're heading because they all can and they all should. We've got to be prepared for college. We have to expect that from everybody. Now to get there, obviously it's different. And one of the things that we're going to have in our school, for example, that'll help that, we're going to have an extended academic day. Here in the Cartwright District, most schools are 6.5 hours to 7. Our academic day will be 8 to 4, an 8-hour day, which will give us 2+ hours of language arts and reading, and an hour and a half or more in mathematics every day. Because we need that time drilling in, building in the fundamental knowledge and skills so that they can be successful. And if they come in with any gaps in their understanding, well, we've got to fill those right away. Right? Now, in terms of what we're teaching, our curriculum, I'll get into this just a little, and again, this is often when we get more questions. But what I want to focus on, so as a liberal arts school, one key facet of that is that we believe that truth is found in all of the disciplines, all of the subject areas. And so students should be exposed to all of them and study them deeply. So English, history, math, science, those are all K through 12, all the way through. There isn't, I don't take math this year because I'm dumb, right? That doesn't exist. We need to continue that pursuit. And of course that's going to exist in our school at the elementary level. Some key aspects to note, though, we have a Briggs phonics-based program. So we believe in the ability to decode words for students to see a multi-symbolic word and be able to break it down and understand it. Right? That's training that starts in kindergarten on. Mathematics, we use an approach known as Singapore. And what that is, it really just focuses on analytical thinking and problem solving. So when they face a problem in life, whether it's mathematical or it's just out in the world, right? We need to be able to have a structure, a way that we can approach it. And our math focuses on building those very skills. All right. The last thing I want to talk about as we prepare students for college, and this is so critical, and this is not our idea, and I want to take credit in any way. We've traveled the country, we've talked to a lot of great school leaders and school districts on how they're actually doing this, how they're moving all of their students towards college, and so much of it depends on this last point of assessment, data, knowing where students are at, right, on an ongoing basis. We test before we even test, right? We need to see what they know and what they don't know. And we then need to have the appropriate tutoring, interventions, specified lessons that meet the needs of the students, right? And that's what we're going to be all about. Throughout the year, each and every day, we're constantly, daily assessing, did the kids get that, right? My teachers are going to go home and they're going to look at those results. We did it. Coming back tomorrow, we're doing this again, right? got to know it in every one of us. So we'll have that on a full class, full school realm, but also we will have pull-out specialists that can work with smaller groups as we need to fill in those gaps, keep us all going forward. No child left behind, we're all heading forward. Prepare for college. The second aspect of our mission is that students will be prepared for a virtuous life. When I say virtuous, I mean literally the classical virtues. We want our students to be courageous, right? To have integrity, to express and to show humility, right? These are things that we emphasize. In fact, we have 9 core values. You might have seen them on one of those tall billboards out there, or out in the walkway. There are things that we emphasize in our literature, and our interactions, right? And our love for the students. We want to develop those virtues and express and show them on a daily basis. It's important for us. Great Hearts is called Great Hearts because we want them to be great-hearted. You know, it's not just a clever name. We literally care about the souls of these students, and we want to be around and developing good things, right? Now, that, of course, comes out and is best nurtured through a safe, nurturing community. And so, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, we're starting small. We're going to be about 140 students. I hope most of them, a lot of them are in this room. And those students, we are going to know each and every one of them. Right? Never will a student be just a number, just someone on a roster. It will be an individual with needs and high aspirations, right? And they need to be learning in an environment that takes care of us. And so our expectations around behavior will be high. There will be a high level of order on campus. Students will know at kindergarten level, this is how I do it. This is where I get this, right? The procedures, etc. This is what I'm expected, how I treat adults, how I treat each other. We will teach that, and they will know that. And we will partner with you because we know you want those same things. Okay? Discipline is another thing to point. Discipline often is there's sort of the negative side to it. It's like the harsh, down to students. I think discipline is one of the most important things that we share. To discipline, really at the root of that, means to disciple, right? To help train up children in the way that they should go, right? And so with discipline, when we make mistakes, because we all do, right? We all make mistakes. I do as well. We need those around us, loving us and guiding us forward. And that's going to be one of the most important parts of my job as I work with the teachers with instruction, but also with discipline. How, when we make a mistake, what's the corrective action? How do we get better? How do we move forward? But it will be done consistently, and there will be high standards. We cannot have excuses. We cannot allow behavior to get in the way of our learning at no point. Finally, I want to note the commitment to excellence. All of us, that includes me, my teachers, you all, the students, we all will be signing a commitment to excellence. It's a contract that outlines the expectations that we all have for ourselves. And you'll notice ours are up front. Okay? We have just as high expectations for myself, for the teachers, of what we're going to be giving every day to make sure that your kids are successful. But it's something we all have to commit to. It's got to be something we all are held accountable to, because as soon as we start slipping on any of those ways, me, you, teachers, etc., okay, we make allowances for students not continuing forward. So it's something we've got to commit to. And it's something that I personally will be reaching out to each and every one of you that join the campus, join the community, to walk through and talk about. It's that important. So our students will be prepared for college and a virtuous life. And finally, prepared for leadership. It's not just enough to be a good person, right, and keep that all to yourself, right? To be good is essentially a pouring out aspect. And so these students need to be leaders right here in this community. And I've talked with several individuals, community members, politicians, other educators about Maryvale. And there's a lot of great work being done here in this very community. I know often it's even called the revitalization, right, of Maryvale. One group I talked with. That's going to take leaders. That's going to take kids that leave this building and go out and want to make an impact. Whether it's just in the way they treat a local school member. That happens in the way that we treat one another and the things that these students will pursue. They're going to be leaders. They're going to make an enduring impact, right? Something that lasts, whether it's here or whether they go off into college, come back, etc. It's critical that they are leaders out in that initiative. All right. So let me tell you just a little bit about some of the logistical things, the details of the school, and then we'll take some questions. So one is, I keep mentioning this, but it's so critical that we begin as a small community school. Small so we know our students, community-based so we understand that this is a partnership. That this is something that we do together. It's not a drop the kids off and hope it works out. We're partnering on making sure that in this community, all students are reaching these outcomes that I just mentioned. Right, so that's critical. We are going to be making, as I've been talking about, a commitment to every child. And we'll talk more about that as we dig into that commitment to excellence with each and every one. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about parent partnership. That's going to be critical. It's more than just, to me, parent involvement. Like, I came and I was at that one event, great. And I know we have busy lives and busy schedules, so there's a balance of that. But I think it's so important, so critical that we partner in this process. And so we will be doing things on our end that help that process, such as the last one here, the volunteering on campus. There's going to be very real ways in which we need you all to help what we're doing. That intervention, that help of students, small groups, that's going to be helped and facilitated by volunteers. Maybe some people out here, I know church members here that are already looking at, hey, can we help out? It's going to be a partnership, this whole community working together on it. For those that are in need, I know many from our community will come from a Spanish-speaking background only. So we'll have at least 75% of our team. I've met my office manager. I am learning, voy a aprender español. I am learning Spanish as well. But we will have members on that can speak in Spanish as well as all of our communications will be in local language. All right, some quick school facts. Tuition free. The school is free. It is a public charter. And I've gotten a lot of questions actually around like charter schools and what they are. And I know there's some confusion around the costs related. Charters, so as you heard on the video, charters are public schools. They're just independently run. So we at Great Hearts have gone to the state of Arizona and said, we would like to start a school. Here's our mission, here's our setup, and they've said, okay, you can do it. We will take funds and we will provide them for your students. So for you as parents, it's like applying to John Long Elementary, right? It is a public school. And the nice thing about Arizona is that they're very friendly to charter law. If people want to come from Tucson to Maryvale Prep, and they can make that drive every day, they can come. I doubt it. People that are from Tucson here are going to do it because of the distance, but you're allowed to. There's open enrollment across the state. So you're allowed to go to school down the street, anywhere else, apply to our school. And there's no application cost, there's no admissions requirement, no testing. We take those that come, and we partner in the ways that I've been talking about. Now I do want to also let you know how we're going to hopefully partner as well in terms of our hours of operation. I mentioned our school day, 8 to 4. That's the academic day, the time the kids have got to be here. And one of those elements is we've got to be on time. We've got to be here throughout. And we also are going to open our doors an hour earlier and stay open an hour later at no cost to continue that learning process. All of our teachers will be on 7 o'clock. We'll start with the breakfast program, and we'll have tutoring, and that'll be a time where they can, looking at the data from the night before, see where the students have left off, see what they can do before the day even starts, working with those students. So that'll happen at 7. And then at 4 o'clock, that hits, I know some families will just pick up, that'll be the end of the day. We will have guided activities and tutoring that takes place, homework assistance here on campus as well. We're currently looking at partnering with other preschools and centers as well that have even extended hours beyond that can do some busing here and there. So I know one in particular has 5:30 to 6 o'clock hours.